Republican Senator and, of course, current Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is highly educated, okay? This is a man who has a wonderful degree from a wonderful university. He's clearly not stupid, but he sure as hell says some of the dumbest things we've ever heard, and he is still, of course, in hot water for his childless cat lady comments. And in typical Republican fashion, rather than trying to backtrack off his comments from the past, he's decided to double down on them while at the same time trying to claim that he never actually said it or meant it in the way that the Democrats are trying to attack him for. So here's a very fun thing that happened recently. Last week, after these old clips of Vance making these childless cat lady comments went viral, he goes out there on Fox News Sunday night, and he says this: "The left has increasingly become explicitly anti-child and anti-family, and they encouraged young families not to have children at all over concerns of climate change. And they suggested people having children are somehow being selfish when being a parent is the most selfless thing that you can do. This is not a criticism and never was a criticism of anybody without children. That is a lie of the left. It's a criticism of the increasingly anti-parent and anti-child attitude of the left. I think a lot of parents and a lot of non-parents look at the public policy over the last 4 years and ask, how did we get to this place? How did we get to a place where Kamala Harris is calling for an end to the child tax credit? How did we get to a place where we were masking toddlers years into the pandemic? I think it's because we radically underrepresent the perspective of parents in our public discourse." Now, that's what he said Sunday night. And of course, Kamala Harris has actually never called for the elimination of the child tax credit. That is a blatant lie. Republicans have, by the way. Project 2025 calls for that. Democrats have never called for that. So Vance is lying through his teeth. And like the masking of toddlers, how is protecting your children to the best of your ability somehow anti-child? It seems like not masking your children during a deadly pandemic is anti-child. Like, that's just begging for your child to die. But he says, like, they're taking it out of context. It's a lie of the left, he said on Sunday. Which is weird because on Friday, he told Megyn Kelly this: "People are focusing so much on the sarcasm and not on the substance. And the substance of what I said, Megyn, I'm sorry, it is true." So, J.D. Vance says that he didn't mean it, but also it's totally true. Again, for such a highly educated individual, somehow being this stupid is a little out of character. But not when you think about the actual context of it. When J.D. Vance made these comments about childless cat ladies and the destruction of the traditional family here in the United States, he did it at a time where some of the most popular people on social media, on YouTube, on whatever, it's those like dude bros, right? The ones who say women should have a traditional place in the kitchen while the men go out and be men. And they routinely engage in misogyny. And J.D. Vance, who was not running for office at the time he initially made these comments, thought to himself, well, hell, I just made a lot of money off a book being anti-Trump. Now I'm pro-Trump. Maybe I'll go down this path and maybe I can break myself into being one of these guys online. Of course, he then decided to run for office, and the rest is history. But J.D. Vance is a weak individual. He's the guy that just blows with the wind. Oh, it's going this way? I'll go this way. Oh, I need to be this today? I'll be this today. He's an absolute pathetic excuse for a human being. He doesn't mean anything he says. I honestly believe that. He just says what he needs to say that day because it's the most politically expedient thing for him, which, for the record, is exactly like Donald Trump. But Vance has a problem. Trump now has a Vance problem. The biggest demographic in this country that Donald Trump is struggling with, of course, is female voters. And having a vice president on your ticket who repeatedly attacks women who do not have children, whether through choice or through just biology, they can't have kids. Maybe they've had cancers. Maybe they have other medical conditions to where they can't have children. Vance doesn't care about any of that. He's just attacking all of them. That's not going to sit well with women voters across the country. But idiot J.D. Vance, with all his years of Ivy League education, still doesn't understand that. And yes, he continues to double down on those horrific misogynistic comments. America's Lawyer has launched its own YouTube channel. Now, this channel, of course, is still in its early phases of development, but you can help grow it by subscribing. Just go to youtube.com/TheAmericasLawyer, and you'll get all of the great content from Mike Papantonio and myself that we produce every single week.